You and I have spent a lot of time on the phone talking about everything from HH to the upcoming special session that will happen at the end of this week. And you touched on this a little bit in your presentation, noting that we would come back to assess what the results of that special session could mean for us. But in general, as we think about property tax relief for our community, knowing that some are struggling and that this will be helpful, knowing that for some those refund checks are also helpful, can you also put in context what the other side of that story is as well for the county? Those property taxes are a key component of revenue to provide services like public safety, elections, and roads and infrastructure. Any just general thoughts on what we need to keep in mind as that conversation moves forward?
Sure, Commissioner. So, yes, as you mentioned, so much of the services we provided are dependent on that stream of revenue that comes in from property taxes. One of the things that I think was kind of lost in translation, and understandably so, is that when we're seeing these really large increases to property values, like actual property values, which we're all experiencing, at least particularly in the metro area, that does not directly translate to an increased tax bill in Jefferson County. And this is largely due because we have those revenue limits currently in place. We have the annual levy law, the 5.5% property tax growth limit, as well as Tabor. And so even though the values may increase, we're still limited by those factors that determine how much revenue comes in. So people may see some increases on their tax bill, but that's not necessarily coming from Jefferson County. Other taxing authorities, special districts, may have more range in what those dollars can be generating. But I think that's an important distinction to recognize, is that unlike other areas in the state, that we are limited on how much revenue could come in. But we are largely dependent, particularly in those general fund functions, on that property tax revenue. And it's a difficult choice trying to figure out how we fund all those critical services, because those are really kind of the essential functions of our county government.
Great, thank you.
Commissioner Kraft-Tharp, do you have any questions at this time?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great, thanks. I wanted to follow up a little bit also on HH and the special session, but I think we all just need to wait to see what happens over the next week or so. I guess my question is, you feel comfortable going ahead approving the budget today, knowing that there could be some adjustments needed by mid-December, I'm guessing, depending on what happens with the special session?
Yeah, we're really in a unique place right now, not knowing exactly what the legislature may put forth. HH, one of the direct impacts of HH on county funding was the statewide assessment rates, which lowered the taxable base that those mill levies would be applied to. Fortunately, because our 24 budget already anticipates a refund of revenue above the estimated Tabor limit, if those valuations were to have come in lower, those assessment rates were to have come in lower from HH or potentially from whatever the legislature may do in the session, all we would really need to do is adjust how much of that amount would be included to be returned to the taxpayers. So it shouldn't affect our net, but it's a big should. We don't really know exactly what the legislature is going to be focusing on, whether it's going to be assessment rates or other factors, because HH had a lot of complexity to it, so I'm not really sure exactly what they're going to be focusing on this respect. So it's one of those wait and see. We have until December 15th, as it currently stands, to get the budget finalized and submitted to the state. So that's one of the reasons we're asking to adopt it today. So in case we need to have any adjustments later, we have the bulk of it in place, and then we could just simply make those adjustments as necessary.
Great, thank you. All right, next we'll move into public testimony. If you would like to provide public testimony on this issue and you are here in person, wish to speak during public testimony, please come down near the front, have a seat. You'll be called up to the podium one at a time. If you are joining us virtually, Please use the chat function to let the host know you would like to testify in this issue. We are only taking public testimony on this issue. Each person will have 3 minutes. We will take speakers in the hearing room first. Natalie, if you'd like to come on down, we'll have you state your name, spelling your last name, and your address. The clerk will swear you in.
Natalie Menten, NatalieMenten, Lakewood, Colorado.
All right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, please proceed.
Thank you. So I am here with the main focus of the mill levy and the property taxes. And I'm glad there was explanation about the tabor protections that we have, but also the 5.5% annual levy law, which is in Colorado Revised Statute, for anyone who wants to look it up, 29-1-301. Both of those are wonderful. And Jefferson County taxpayers are protected by those. And it makes us much more in control of our future and our taxation than being left with the decisions that are being made under the Gold Dome right now and that are going to continue to be made on Friday. I personally think this should probably be postponed myself, considering we have Friday, 9 a.m. Wednesday, we'll even have the bills. Tomorrow, I guess, we'll have the bills. But I think it should be postponed, but let's just assume that you will proceed. So I've done a lot of research since May when these bills popped out, and I should have done it long before then, but I have done a lot since then, trying to understand what is a very dense subject. Agreed. But I've researched what these two limitations provide, having known a lot about Tabor for many years, being active, supporting our taxpayers' Bill of Rights, but especially digging in now more to the annual levy law and what that does. And talking to the employees at Department of Local Affairs about how it works, the worksheets that are provided, and the series of where the assessor is telling everybody, here's the value of the portfolio we've got. Set your mill based upon what are, agreed, preliminary numbers. We're still in some of the protests. But I've worked through what we have presented as a mill of 21.478 in this package. Between the four funds that are JEFCO, 21.478 mil. Using the Department of Local Affairs DOLA DLG-53 worksheet, it appears, and I've done these quickly, so I'd like clarification, that we should be potentially charging instead a 17.53508 mil based off that worksheet. I don't know if my numbers are right, and we do have the two complications of those bills at the Capitol, 238, 260, yeah, I've got them written in here, but, and then HH coming up. So is that right? We know, where's my timer to keep track? Oh, right there,
30 seconds.
Okay, so it appears we're overcharging taxpayers, and it's stated it's going to be addressed later. But as I calculate these figures out, again, another figure I want to figure out, when we overcharged last time $39.4 million to the taxpayers, just got the checks back, are we going to be overcharging $55.9 million? That's what my rough calculation. I'd like confirmation. Why are we overcharging? It's simply holding the money hostage. The mill should be reduced. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, is there anyone else in the room that would like to make public testimony at this time? Seeing none, we will go to online, and I believe we have one person joining us virtually, Mike Donahue. Mike, are you there?
Yes, I am.
There, we can hear you. Great, let's get you sworn in, and then you will have your 3 minutes of public testimony.
Thank you.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, please state your name and address and spell it for the record.
My name is Mike Donahue, Donahue. I live in unincorporated South Jefferson County.
right, you may proceed.
Okay. So it appears that from today's agenda, the commissioners will be voting on the 2024 budget and establishing mill levies for the 2023 property taxes. In his April 26, 2023 letter, Scott Kersgood, the Jefferson County assessor, stated that median single-family residential values in Jefferson County increased by 36.5%. Mr. Kersgood also stated that for most people, property taxes probably will not go up by anything close to 36%. Even at the current assessment rate of 6.765%, Mr. Kersgood knows that the mill levy must be reduced for his statement to be true. It is also true property owners had the opportunity to appeal their county assessor's property valuations this past May. Many more than the usual number of residential property owners did appeal their valuations. However, the Jefferson County Assessor's Office was particularly stingy in granting residential property tax appeal relief. Of the 7 Front Range counties, Jefferson County ranked at the bottom with a 20% appeal success rate, while Broomfield, Denver, and Douglas counties had respectively 58%, 45%, and 41% appeal success rates. Commissioners, to comply with our constitutional taxpayer Bill of Rights and the annual levy law, you need to reduce the mill levy sufficiently to limit property tax increases to 5.5%. From the county assessor's stated valuation numbers, it seems the mill levies need to be reduced by about 30%. Please do not overcollect property taxes only to send Tabor refund checks at a wasteful cost of over $250,000 of taxpayers' money next October or November. Instead, reduce the mill levy by the appropriate amount and let the Jefferson County residents keep that money in their pockets or spend it as they see fit. Thank you very much for your time.
Great, thank you very much. And let me double check. I don't think we have anyone else online. No one else. One more time, I will ask if there's anyone in the room. Not seeing anyone else at this time. Public testimony on this issue is now closed. I will go to staff to see if there are any comments to public testimony at this point, or to any other questions that the commissioners may have asked.
Commissioner, I don't have any comments per se. There's a few more slides on the presentation. Just wanted to kind of wrap that up. First, and we'll go next slide. Just wanted to remind everybody here and online that if you're interested in participating further in the county budget process, that's highly encouraged and recommended. And there's a link here on the slide that brings you to a page on the county website that can show you all the different ways to help find your way to help participate. Also, I'll mention that we do have a copy of the proposed budget over here on the public information desk for anybody who would like to see more detail. And then it's also a link on this online here. You can look at that information as well. Next slide. And then finally, Commissioners, you just present the resolutions that are presented for consideration.
Great. Thank you. Commissioners, any other questions or comments at this time? Hearing none? Okay.
Are we moving, and then we're going to move to approve the budget? Or are we doing
yeah.
LEA and then coming back?
No, we'll do this one first before we go to the LEA.
Okay, I'll just make a couple of comments. One, I want to thank the members of our community who weighed in today and who've also weighed in throughout this process, also by email. We also heard from members of our community who We're advocating for the homelessness decision package so we can work on that issue further in our community, which we've seen grown in recent years. I also want to thank Stephanie, Dan, the entire strategic planning and analysis team. Earlier I was thinking back, we celebrated your Distinguished Budget Presentation Award from the Government Finance Officers Association, and we know it's the highest form of recognition in governmental budgeting. And I think that's really important to underscore as we're poised to approve this budget moving forward, because it really demonstrates the amount of care and, the critical eye that you take in terms of looking at this budget. We're always looking for ways we can innovate, ways we can be more efficient. But we also know, as you mentioned, Dan and Stephanie, that ARPA has really helped us over the last 2 years address some of those budget pain points we've been feeling. That's not the case. So as we look forward, we have some real challenges ahead in terms of those services and programs that are so critical to Jefferson County and how we ensure that we can provide those services in the way that our community expects. And I know there'll be a lot more conversations about that ahead. I also think that this budget demonstrates what we value as a community, what's important to us, and we've worked a lot with our community in thinking about how we allocate and where we allocate ARPA dollars through surveys and questionnaires, community meetings, and more. Not only ARPA dollars, but the dollars that we have in our general revenue fund, and I think their values and priorities have been front and center throughout this process. Also, huge thanks to the elected officials, our county manager, county attorney, as well as our department leads who have worked with us side by side. And I always appreciate that we're looking at ways to improve the budget process from one year to the next. So with that, I think we've got challenges ahead, as we discussed. I think we've tried to weigh all aspects of the issues confronting the county and how we tackle that and how it's reflected in the dollars that we're approving today, and know that we've got a lot of work ahead of us. So thank you for all the work that you've put into this and the work to come.
All right, may I have a motion for hearing regular agenda item 10.1?
I move for the approval of hearing regular agenda item 10.1.
Second.
That is a proper motion and a second. Ms. Blumquist, will you please call the vote?
Commissioner Kraftharp,
Yes.
Commissioner Dahlkemper,
Yes.
Commissioner Kerr.
Aye, and that passes. Thank you both and your staff. Please pass on our thanks for a lot of hard work. You can go out, celebrate, it's done, and then start back on the next one tomorrow probably. So, yeah, already started. So, thank you very much. All right, next, and don't go anywhere, I guess, right? Next, we have item 11.1, the 2024 Law Enforcement Authority.